standing on the mat. And just move around. So let's do a little posture check. So move around. And then come to standing however you would just standing in your regular life. Like you're just you walked over to the oven and you're about to set it, or you just ran into a friend at the grocery store, or you're waiting in line. How would you stand? And now close your eyes and see if you can just envision, without looking, where everything is. Starting at the base of the feet. What are your feet doing? What are your legs doing? How are your knees? What are your hips doing? Importantly, we talk a lot about this. What are the shoulders up to here? And where's your head? Do you have a tendency to lean to one side or drop it forward? Where are your hands? Where's everything? Just closing your eyes, feeling where everything is. And now, keep your eyes closed. This will be a little fun experiment. And try and come into mountain pose, evening everything out without even looking. And with the feet, hip width distance, kind of even with each other. The hips are over the heels, the shoulders feel like they're over the hips. The ears feel like they're over the shoulders, and the head feels like it's upright, not leaning to one side or the other. All right, now blink your eyes open and check yourself out. See if that's how you are right now, how you envisioned yourself and how you positioned yourself. And straighten out anything that still needs to come into good postural position here. And just bring your breath into your practice. So the breath can now flow smoothly through the body. We're all aligned. We're going to let the breath start to deepen here. So take a nice exhale. And then inhale and let the breath move all through your body. Nice and big. Forward, out to the sides, back. Everything is big. And exhale, release. And then inhale again. And soften as you release. And we're going to start to add some arms to this now. So turn your palms out, exhale. And as you inhale, draw the arms up as far as they want to go right now. Draw your palms together and bring your hands to your heart. And then do that 2 more times to your comfort level. What I want you to focus on here is, what are your feet doing? Can they stay grounded as you lift your arms up? And the next time you bring your hands to your heart, just stay here, take a couple of breaths. Inhale and exhale. All right, bring your hands down. We're going to take the feet a little bit wider and let the knees and hips be soft as we really start to open up the spine in all its various directions. So hands to the thighs here, and then we're going to keep the hands to the thighs and arch your back. You'll feel your hands pressing a little more into your thighs. Shine your heart forward and notice that you're not throwing your head back. Your head is just following your spine, and then round forward and take your gaze towards your left. And from here, just notice the various parts of your body that are moving, the sensation of your hands on your thighs, and especially that the head follows the spine. It's not whipping forward and back. And the next time you're rounded into your cat pose here, just take a moment and then roll your hands up your legs. Roll your shoulders back a couple of times, just back. Good, and release. All right, so we're going to start to move the body side to side, okay, a little tilting here. So the feet are still in slightly wider than hip width distance apart, but they're super grounded here, okay? So we want to feel all four corners of the feet, and then take your right arm up. Left hand is gentle on the left leg. And remember, we're just warming up here, so we're going to gently tilt to the left, and switching sides, tilt to the right. And notice as you go through, is the second time starting to feel a little more open? Is the third time feeling more open? What's happening for you in your body here? As the body gets used to this movement, maybe moving a little deeper to the side. And the next time you're over to the left, stay here. So we've warmed up. Now we're going to work on deepening, okay? So just release a little bit and come back to the left. Release and come back to the left. And this time, reach all the way over to the left. Check your right foot. Make sure it's grounded. Take your left arm up parallel to the earth. Press those left fingertips away and take your right shoulder back behind you with your heart facing up toward the sky. All right, come on back up and bring your right arm down. Left arm, we tilt to the right and release and tilt. We'll do this a few more times. And the next time you're to the right, tilted, stay here. Make sure your left foot is grounded. Float that right arm up and bring your left shoulder back. Shine your heart up toward the sky. Inhale. Come back to center. Bring your arms up as much as they're going to go. Remember, it's always that. Inhale, and then exhale the arms back and up. So we're really releasing here. Yes, let everything go. Good. Inhale and exhale. And then come back to standing. And shake it out. All right, so we'll go ahead and do a little bit of twisting here. Okay, we're going to have the arms out to the side with the elbows bent. The feet are going to stay a little more grounded this time. Lengthen through the spine, inhale, and as you exhale, twist to the right and come center. Always lengthening the spine before you twist, twist to the left and center and back over to the right and center and to the left and center. If your arms get tired, you can put your hands on your hips. Good. One more time like this to the right and left. And then we're going to really extend through the spine, press the feet into the earth, and twist to the right. Extend again, lengthen the arms as you exhale. Turn your gaze toward your right fingertips. And then turn your gaze to the left. Back to the right and forward with goalpost arms. Lengthen your spine, twist to the left, lengthen, extend the arms, take your gaze to your left fingertips, back to the right, back to the left, and goalpost arms, draw the arms up and shake them out. Woo, that was a lot. Yeah, I know. That's a good idea. Let's all do that. Put your hands on your shoulders and rotate them back. What a great move. Yeah. Oh. And we can do it a couple of times forward, but typically we work more backward than forward because in life we spend more time in that forward shoulder position. All right, is everybody ready to move on here? Okay, so we're going to have our blocks at the top of the mat, knee padding if you like to have knee padding, or if the place that you are, your setup is better with knee padding. You can see I'm on a rug, I'm on a mat, so I have cushioning here. But sometimes you might be just on a thin yoga mat on a hard floor and want extra padding. So get yourself set up. Your blocks are going to be at the side of your feet here. I'm just going to move mine out of the way for now so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, inhale and exhale. Float the arms up, inhale. Exhale, swan dive. Have your blocks on their highest edge and put your hands on the blocks. Now with your hands on the block, do a half lift here with straight legs. And then fold back down. And then do a half lift with straight legs. And fold back down. And one more time, half lift with straight legs. And fold back down. All right, now go ahead and bend the hips and the knees. Bring your hands to the mat and step back to downward facing dog. Bend one knee and then the other, alternating heel presses. One heel down and hold. Other heel down and hold. Two heels down and hold. Bring your knees down and sit off to the side. Remember, anything we do with the hands on the mat, you could do with your hands on a wall or on a chair. Okay, let's find seated mountain pose and take a couple of breaths here. And sometimes it feels good to rock side to side and remove anything that's in between you and your sit bones. So a nice even seat here. Inhale and exhale. All right, shake it out. We're going to be doing toe taps, okay, for core work. So we'll be here tapping down, and then we're going to be for the obliques tapping out to the side. All right, so you guys have all done toe taps before. So let's go ahead and roll down. Hands are by your side. Inhale and exhale. So let's start by just taking the right foot to the toes, bring that knee in and tap down. Bring the knee in and tap down. Bring the knee in and tap down. Now plant your right foot, take your left foot to the toes, bring your left knee in and tap down. In and tap down. And you're probably thinking, this is more of a hip warm up, bring your left foot down, than a core thing, okay? But that's one way of doing toe taps. The next way we're going to work on is take both knees up. So the knees are in tabletop now, and we tap down and up with the right. You might feel this a little more, right? Down and up with the right. If your back has any objection to this version, go back to the other version. We're just tapping down and up. And then hold up here and switch to the left, down and up. We're controlling this entire movement. And one more. Woo. And then draw your knees in, hold on to your shins or your hamstrings, and release the spine a little bit. All right. So raise one leg if you started to feel that in your core. Started, okay. All right, remember you can always bring your feet back down and work with one foot on the mat here. Okay, otherwise knees to tabletop. Now we're going to do the heel, but we're going to take the leg forward as we do that. So right leg forward, heel taps down. There's still a bend in the right knee, but the leg is longer. Right leg forward, heel taps down and up. Right leg forward, heel taps down and up. And we'll do that one more time. And up. Now switch to the left. The left leg extends a bit. The heel taps down. Maybe halfway extend. Maybe a little longer for you. A lot of this is just about controlling the movement, keeping it nice and slow, and down, and bring it in, hug it in, inhale and exhale. All right, so we're going to work on double toe taps and double heel taps now. Remember, you can always go back to any other version we did. Go ahead and sit on your hands with your palms to the mat. This just gives a little lift to the hips, and sometimes the spine feels better doing it this way. And tap the toes, both legs down and up, both legs down and up. And we'll do one more like this. Take the knees back to tabletop, flex the feet. So now we're going heel taps, and we're extending the legs and tapping the heels down. You might notice a difference when you start to extend your legs, right? Does it feel like a little more or maybe a lot more work as you extend the legs? And we'll do one more here. And hug it in, holding on, shins or hamstrings, rock around a little bit. All right, so now for the obliques, we're going to do the same thing, but take the leg out to the side, progressively a little farther out to the side, okay? I'll turn this way. I know you're laying down, and you really don't need to see what's happening because you guys understand what we're doing here. But go ahead and put your feet down on the mat, your hands by your side. Take your right foot to the toes, and then take it out to the side and back. Out to the side and back. Now let's take that right knee to tabletop and do the same thing. Out to the side and back. And it might be going very little out to the side, and maybe next time it goes a little more. Out to the side and back. Find the spot that works for you and come back. Put your right foot down, left foot to the tabletop, and just from here, it's more like a little hip arc right now, and then take your left foot to tabletop and take the left foot out to the side and back. Okay, your left knee is in tabletop. If that's not working for you, keep the leg lower like we did earlier. And maybe take it a little farther out to the left and back. And then come back to center, bring both feet down. Let's let those knees open and close, little gentle butterfly wings here. Okay. Raise one foot if that made any sense to you. Sort of, maybe not. Okay, are we ready to try it with the heel? Okay, so let's go ahead and take the left knee to tabletop. Keep your, this is your right knee. Take your right knee to tabletop, keep your left foot down, and extend your leg, bring the heel to touch out to the side. So we're extending and bringing the leg out to the side. Not a full extension here, right? Just a little bit so that heel can get to the side and come back to center. Bring the right foot down, left knee to tabletop, and take the left leg out to the side and back. We won't be doing this with double legs for obvious reasons, right? That would be quite a lot. All right, and let's bring it back in. So that was with 1 foot remaining on the earth. I think we'll leave it there. So what we're going to do now is move into windshield wipers to release the spine. Just do some gentle windshield wipers with your feet about hip width distance apart. Just release the spine from the work it just did. And then come back to center, inhale and exhale. All right, so we'll be doing a lot of hip releasing with the blocks. So come onto your hands and knees here. And for now, just take your arms long ahead and come into a gentle knee down plank and hips back. Gentle knee down plank, hips back. Just giving the hips a little bit of a release, preparing for child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide apart, forehead grounded. So you can see in child's pose, it helps to have the hips warmed up, right? And we're going to come to downward facing dog from your child's pose. Inhale and exhale. And then start walking the feet to the hands. Okay. Bring your hands to your thighs, hips back, shine your heart forward, half lift. Okay, what we're going to do now is, as you straighten the legs, walk your fingertips down your legs. And then walk your fingertips back up, coming back into that half lift. Walk them down. And walk them up, coming back into the half lift. And one more time. So notice your various muscles of your hips, what they're doing here, how they're loosening up. Come into your half lift here. Bring your hands to your heart now. Press through the feet. Bring your fingertips up toward the sky. Hands down. And shake it out. Inhale and exhale. All right, so go ahead and grab your blocks. Have them at the front of your mat. One on either side of your mat here, okay? Second edge or third edge. That's why it doesn't matter if one is thin or one is thick. It doesn't matter because we'll be using the edges. So let's come to the top of the mat. Take a few breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Float the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive. Now, as you come back to that half lift, notice how everything's feeling here. Shine your heart forward. Sink your hips down. Notice the hips. Bring the hands to the mat here. Take your right leg back and come into a lunge. So just move around in your lunge here. And then bring your right knee down. Okay. If your right knee is not happy being down this morning, then try this with your knee up. It will still work. Okay? Take your blocks to their highest edge here and come into a crescent lunge. So it can work with the knee up, you see? It can work with the knee down. And then turn your blocks to their second edge. And we're going to start to move the hips back toward the heels here. Pretend my front block is invisible. Have your left toes facing up. We're moving into the rear glute and hamstring stretch. And then come back into that crescent lunge. Knee up or knee down. And hamstring. All right, now bring your hands to the mat. Come forward and lift your back knee or come into a knee down plank, whichever one you're doing. Whichever one is better for you right now. And chaturanga down to the earth. Take it all the way down. Yeah. All right, so from here we're going to do a baby cobra, lift the heart, and release. Find your way to downward facing dog. Take your right leg up, step forward, and we're going to be coming back into that crescent lunge sequence with the hamstring stretch. So go ahead and arrange yourself so that your left knee is now behind the hip. Okay, it could be lifted also. And the blocks are on their third edge. We're in a deep crescent lunge here. And then take your blocks to their second edge. You could also do this hamstring stretch with the knee lifted. Right toes are up. And then take it back to the crescent lunge. We always want to give our knees what they prefer, right? If they're saying, hey, don't lean on me so much right now, then we don't. Now go back to your second edge for a hamstring stretch. Okay, so most typically we do this with the back knee down, but it totally works with the back knee up also. All right, now go ahead and bring your hands to the mat. Come back into downward facing dog here. Inhale and exhale. All right, and we're going to come into a knee up or knee down plank, chaturanga. Take a cobra, release, and find your way to downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. And take your left leg up. Take whatever a big step forward is for you right now, and then walk the rest of the way to the top of your mat. Okay? If your blocks are still there, turn them to their high side. Take a half lift with straight legs. Fold forward with straight legs. Notice the sensations you're having here. Take a half lift with straight legs. Fold forward with straight legs. Take those blocks out of your way. Think of your body as super grounded, super heavy from the waist down, super light from the waist up. Exhale. And float the arms out and up, palms touch. And hands come heart center. And release. All right. So let's see how those hips feel now. Take the legs wider than hip width distance with the toes out. And remember, we want the feet, all four corners of the feet grounded. We're going down and up. Yeah, just noticing the mobility of the hips. Inhale and exhale. And now we're going to use this hip mobility to take our squats pretty deep as it works for you right now, with our brush hands. So the feet are wider than hip width distance, toes are face out, arms are up, palms are forward. Now we're going to slowly come down, brushing our hands like we're brushing them down a wall. And just notice how deep our squat is going. Maybe you need to take your feet a little bit wider. This is super slow brush hands. And then draw the hands back up as you straighten your legs. And we're going super slow down. So we're looking for the point where we are stopping, and then slowly up. And then one more time, super slow down. And super slow up. And release the hands. Go ahead and heel toe your legs together and shake things out. Okay, so a little bit of hip mobility stuff there. Okay, all right. Now we're going to use the blocks to work on our triangle and pyramid pose. So we're going to have 2 blocks over to the right. Take your legs wide, okay, and turn your right toes to the right, left toes in at an angle, triangle. Of course, both legs are staying straight, shoulders are staying stacked. Inhale, arms out. And we reach, 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 and take the right hand down. Now grab a block and put it outside your right foot and just come into a comfortable hand position here. Yeah, so like my block's on the third side. Your block might be on the second side. It could even be on the first side. The more important thing is, are your shoulders stacked? Inhale and exhale. All right, now go ahead and bring your left hand down. Grab your second block, put one on either, you have one block on either side of your right foot here, and your right knee is bent. And you're going to experiment, maybe the block on the third side. Let's start with that. Bend the right knee and come back into pyramid. This is also known as head to knee pose, so head is heading toward the knee. Now bend your right knee. Take your blocks to their second edge and straighten the leg, head to knee. And bend it back. Which one of those was better for you? Okay, maybe you want to go lower. In this case, it would be helpful to have two blocks of even height. Maybe you want to try it one lower. Or maybe you want to stay on the second or third side. And maybe you want to try it without any block. And bring it in. And then out of those variations, which one do you feel will serve you best for the next 3 breaths? Come into that. And then we're going to leave the blocks and just put the right hand back on the right leg, open the left arm up, come back into triangle. Remember triangle, yeah, you don't have to have your arm perfectly straight. And come on up, bring your hands to your hips, okay? And let's turn all 10 toes forward and even in at a slight angle. Fold forward from the hips and just release here. So do whatever feels good to you here. Let the spine move around a bit and come up. Slowly and heel toe and shake things out. Okay. So did that make sense in the pyramid? We were going from higher, lower, lower, and you stop where you stop, and then you just settle into that height, okay? So let's move the blocks over to the left. And I'll just move that one out of the way. We're going to go back into the pyramid. So go ahead and take your legs wide, left toes to the left, arms out. Reach, reach, reach. Left hand comes down. You have a block at the outer edge of your left foot and decide what height you want that block to be right now. So your shoulders can be stacked and you can enjoy your triangle pose. And then bend your left knee, find your other block. Start with your blocks at their highest edge and straighten the leg head to knee, bend the knee. Straighten head to knee and bend. So we're coming out in and out of head to knee pose, also known as pyramid. And then bend your left knee, bring your blocks to their second side. If you already know you want to stay on the third side, just stay there. We're bending and straightening. And then if you want to try the lower side, bend and straighten. And if you want to try hands to the mat, otherwise just stay where you were happy. And after you explore, then find which one you want to come into for the next 3 breaths. And now release, bring your left hand to your left leg and come into triangle. And reach up, hands to the hips. Go ahead and take your toes slightly forward or slightly in at an angle here. And just go ahead and fold forward, move around, start to release. So consider this a nice rag doll here. And start to check the body, see what the body's looking for right now. And then come back to center, bring your hands to your hips. Lift up halfway, let's take this slowly now. And lift up the rest of the way. And then heel toe your feet together, shake things out. And once again, see what else needs to happen, needs to move around before you can come down to the earth and be happy. Whew. Yeah. Look around, see if there's anything you want to bring with you for final relaxation. All right. And go ahead and when you're ready, come to the top of your mat, find mountain pose up here. See how your breath is moving. Close your eyes, envision your posture. Remember, that's where we started out here. Okay. Envision yourself lining everything up. And then when you feel like you've got it, open your eyes and check and see. Are you where you thought you were? Float your arms up, inhale. Exhale, swan dive. Let's use those hamstrings. We just really worked them. So keep the legs straight. See how they're feeling. Bring your hands to your thighs, hips back. Shine your heart forward, half lift. And then we use the hips to sink down. Bring the hands down and step back to down dog. Okay. You can always just go straight to table, but if you're in down dog, bring your big toes together. Take your knees to the right, hips left, knees left, hips right, and continue side to side. If you're in table, just wiggle your hips. Either way is fine. Come back to center. If your knees are up, bring them down. Sit off to the side. Let's find seated mountain pose. We're going to work on long spine here, okay? So we want the feet flexed, legs long, arms out by your side. Inhale, float the arms up. Turn your palms out, and as you exhale, the spine continues to lengthen. Fingertips tap down. Inhale, float the arms up, spine lengthens. Exhale. Spine continues to lengthen as the arms come down. And then just release everything, shake things out, and we're going to come into it just one soft forward fold. So just draw your arms gently up and fold forward. Inhale and exhale. All right, roll your hands up your legs. Go ahead and bend your knees and take your body down to the earth. Start to let yourself come in contact with the earth. Feel things nice and relaxed here. Okay, we're going to take both arms and both legs long. Inhale. Exhale, draw just the right knee in. Of course, that left leg can bend if it prefers. Inhale, the right leg long, arms overhead. Exhale, draw your left knee in. You can be holding onto the shin or the hamstring, as always. Inhale, here's something a little different going to happen now. Exhale, cross at the thighs as you bring your legs in. And you've got one you've got a tight cross at the thighs. Remember which leg is on top so you can do the other leg next time. And wiggle around. And then extend, uncross, extend your legs, and as you bring them in, cross at the thighs with your other leg in front. Your hips will tell you right away if you're on the same side, right? And move around, just a nice hip release here. And then uncross as you take your legs straight, arms overhead. Bring both knees in. Hold on to your hamstrings here. Okay? There's some distance in between your legs so you can point and flex your feet. Circle the ankles one direction and the other. Bring your feet down. And just open your fingers and wiggle them into a gentle fist a few times here. And then rotate your wrists one direction and the other. Bring your hands down and start to let your head move side to side as you check in with your neck. And come back to center. And then go ahead and scan your body. Do any final moves that your body is asking for. Do any alignment, realignment that your body is wanting. And start to find your way into your final relaxation position for this practice. Okay? So these things can vary depending on what we did in practice, what you did in practice, right? Sometimes it might feel good to have legs straight. Sometimes it might feel good to have them bent. Sometimes you might have a chair nearby and you stick your feet up on the chair and have that. Come into your final relaxation. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Just allow yourself to melt onto the earth, let go of all effort, and just be in your final relaxation. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Allow your breath to deepen. Invite movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And as you're ready, on your next inhale, extend your arms and legs. And then on your exhale, draw the knees in. Give yourself a hug. Find your way over to a side. And up to a nice easy seat. As you turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit, thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.